What's up everyone, my name is Alpha and today we're back with another Pokemon challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon Inclement Emerald just like before, and today's challenge will be, can I beat Pokemon Inclement Emerald using only Team Rocket's Pokemon. Now as you guys see on the graphic, Team Rocket is the three members of Team Rocket, Jesse, James, and the Meowth. I guess I'll count that as part of the team. But I also want to preface, this is my last video of 2021, so I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Let's get into the rules. So we're playing through Inclement Emerald, a very hard ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald. We have to use Team Rocket's Pokemon. Now they have acquired a lot of Pokemon through a lot of episodes of the anime, as you guys can see. Now a lot of them have been like boxed somewhere or released, or they traded them away, which I'm not gonna count certain ones, like the ones they temporarily own and the ones that they illegally owned or rented from the Team Rocket. There's a lot of anime fillers where they have random Pokemon. I'm just looking for the canonical ones where they keep it out throughout multiple episodes. Basically every single Pokemon you see in the boxes right now, it's available to me. Everything else outside of that shouldn't be available to me. And also we're gonna play on the built-in challenge mode of this game. In Inclement Emerald, the challenge mode is you can't use items inside a battle. You have to play on set mode, like things like that. There's also a level cap to this game. We play on default level caps because, you know, it's pretty simple. It's pretty challenging. And as well, the final rule of this challenge, where each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys. And I use a lot of nicknames for this challenge, thankfully, since it's the last video of 2021. And I want to say thanks so much for leaving a comment in the previous challenge video. Also, you see this one? I got it from Twitter. More than likely, if you tweet me and follow me and interact with me on Twitter, most likely I'll use your nickname. So, you know, I'm just throwing that out there. Just follow my Twitter, tweet at me and everything. Also leave some comments in the comment section below and I'll pick out some nicknames as well. I just have a better chance on Twitter. And if you guys can, please don't forget to leave a like, comment down below some challenge ideas just like this one for the new year of 2022. Can't wait for our Legends Arceus, and subscribe if you guys are not already. Really help my channel. I'm everywhere right now. Anyways, let's get into the challenge video itself. Now to begin off, they don't really have a starter, so we're just gonna go through the first part of the game, which is torch it, because I just gotta beat the tutorial and then we're off to play the game actually. So in route 1, the first route in the game, we're able to find a Wurmple in here, and Wurmple can evolve into a Cascoon. If we get a Cascoon, it's actually really useful for us because that is one of Jesse's Pokemon. So we're gonna catch ourselves a Wurmple and evolve that. And as well, Jesse and James both own a Magikarp. James owned a Gyarados, Jesse owned a Magikarp. So technically we can use a Magikarp on the team, which is surprising. And in the cave north of Rustboro City, we can find ourselves a Woobat. Catch that on the team. After that, we're gonna head into the first gym of the game, which is gonna be Rustboro City. We're gonna fight against the Rock Gym leader of the game. We're gonna start the battle against Roxanne using our Wingo against her Aeron. We're gonna Supersonic down her Aeron and it actually hit itself in confusion, so we're able to Bubble Beam and knock out her Aeron. Now this Wingo actually goes pretty far. I've got to mention, we had the Wingo. They had a Pelipper at one point. They travel with a Pelipper, and also they have a Chimecho. And the next Pokemon on Roxanne's team will be a Tyrant, so we're gonna Bubble Beam that. It's gonna Red Card me into the Magikarp perfectly. It's definitely a fodder. So we're gonna sack our Magikarp and then switch into our Wingo once again to knock out the Tyrant and the Anorith. The Nosepass will come out next. Nosepass is kind of difficult to handle, so I can send out my Chingling to yawn it and then sack my Chingling to send out my Wingo to Bubble Beam it and to knock out the Nosepass in 3 shots. Next up, she can switch out to Amora and knock it out in 2 shots, and her final Pokemon will be a Lilip. It's gonna knock out my Wingo, which is fine. I can send in my Dustox. It's going to Confusion and Infestation, knock out the Lilip. Poison Powder does not work on Grass type anymore. I completely forgot that was a mechanic. But we're able to knock out the Lilip and we beat Roxanne, the first gym leader of the game. Now speaking of gyms, we're gonna head into the second gym of the game, facing off against Due for the Islands Brawly. Now we have a Yama on our team, which is amazing. I can't wait for that to evolve into Yanmega. I haven't used Yanmega in such a long time, but we're gonna start the battle using our Yama to knock out her Meditite. To knock out his Meditite, and then he's gonna switch into his Hitmonchan. Every time I did this, Hitmonchan just lets me knock it out. So there's 2 shots to the Hitmonchan to knock it out, and then I'm gonna switch out into my Pelipper against his Dewott, Air Cutter it, do about half to it, and then another one will knock him out. The Breloom's gonna outspeed me. I can switch into my Yama though, survive a Drain Punch, and Air Cutter will chop down the Breloom. Next up, we're still speeding through this battle, but next up will be the Lucario. I'm going to switch out into my Chingling, just taking an attack, just for a sack. Switch out into my Weeping Bell. I wish I just put a status on it, but it's going to knock me out. I'm going to switch out into my Dustox, which is just going to Infestation Moonlight it until it goes down to half HP. Switch out to my Gyarados, and just it goes down. Switch into my Yama, which will eventually survive a hit, and then Air Cutter crit it to knock him out. And then his final Pokemon will be a Hariyama. I Air Cutter it, almost knock him out as he almost chokes with a Bulk Up. and then unfortunately I go down to knockoff. Then luckily my last Pokemon will be a Pelipper, which outspeeds the Hariyama. Air Cutter will knock out the Hariyama, and we beat the second gym of the game. After that, we're gonna go into Slateport City, and for some reason they actually gave us the ability to fly whenever we want. We get fly as soon as like the first gym, which is kind of funny. We don't have the TM for fly or the HM for fly at all. We can fly in between cities as much as we want, which I'm actually really for this because it's kind of annoying fast traveling back and forth using the boat. But I'm going to go into the market in Slateport City and obviously do my shopping, get my lax incense, get my training bands, and then head back into Verdant Town. Now finally in Verdant Town, I found the lucky egg person. Thank you so much for all the comments telling me where it is. I swear, okay, I need to explain this. Before, I was very confused why my previous attempts I didn't get a lucky egg. Maybe it was a previous version of the game. I don't know. Outside of that, we're going to face off against the third gym leader of the game. It's going to be the electric gym leader. We're going to face off against Watson. Watson's going to start off the battle using a Galvantula against us. We're going to fake it out with our Meowth. I'd use Meowth because I thought it was going to survive some hits and I could just like screech it and then knock it out. It does not outspeed anything. So I have to switch into my Victory Belt to Sleep Powder it and then switch into my Dustox to knock it down to low HP, eventually to knock it out. Then it's going to send out its Manectric. I'm going to Toxic it and then Protect, stall it, switch out into my Meowth, take a hit obviously, and then I'm going to fake it out. Flinch it, it's going to go down to low HP, sack my Dustox, which, I mean, don't need it, and then I can fake out the Manectric to knock him out. Rotom comes out next. Rotom's okay. It's going to leave Stormy, it's fine. Switch out to my Yameg. I'm actually going to avoid its first move, Air Slash it, and then almost knock it out with another Air Slash as it Volt Switched into his Magneton. I'm going to U-Tune to break its sturdy, obviously. Switch out into my Gyarados, which will Bulldoze, knock out the Magneton somehow, because I thought it was going to Thunderbolt me or something. Raichu comes out, is obviously going to knock me out. No one wants to use an electric move against me. Switch out to my Chimecho to Yawn, and then switch into my Victory Bell. Double into my Yanmega to Air Slash, eventually knock it out in 3 shots. And then the Rotom comes out. I'm getting the Air Slash to knock out the Rotom. Lantern comes out. I'm a U-turn to break its bubble. I mean, doesn't really need it. Then I'm getting Yawn it with my Chimecho and Healing Wish to regain my HP using my Yanmega and eventually knock out the Lantern with an Air Slash. So we get our third gym badge in the game down and easy. What's not easy is after Meteor falls, we go into this battle and then our game just crashed. Luckily we saved the game before this happened, so we could restart and we go into the next gym of the game, which is going to be the 4th gym. We're going to face off against Flannery in her fire gym in Lava Ridge Town. We're going to start the battle using our Chimecho against her Torkoal. We're going to Yawn it down and then switch out into my Drizzle Pelipper, which will obviously stockpile right in front of it. I wish I roosted in one of these points because I Hydro Pump and then knock out the Torkoal. Then it switched out to a Blaziken. It has Thunder Punch. I could live one attack, but eventually it's going to paralyze me and I can't outstall it, so I just got to go for it. Hydro Pump does knock out the Blaziken at least. It's the bare minimum we could do. But Pelipper is basically dead at this point. Houndoom will come out next, just sack the Pelipper, it's alright. I'm going to switch out to my Dustox to bait in the Overheat with my Yanmega. Switch into it again. It's actually going to go into his Talonflame to knock me out, which is completely fine because I switched out to my Chimecho to Yawn it, put it to sleep, switch into my Gyarados, which will Dragon Dance twice in front of him, and then Waterfall will knock out the Talonflame, the Houndoom, the Arcanine, which is amazing, and the Volcarona in the back. And we beat Flannery, very, very luckily for us. From there, we're going to pick up the egg in Lava Ridge Town and then hatch it into a Wobbuffet. I just need this Pokemon as like a wall breaker. Just in case something bad happens, it could take any hits basically, and it'll be fine. From there, we're going to go into the next gym of the game in Petalburg City. And we're going to evolve the Wynot into a Wobbuffet, obviously, and face off against the next gym leader. The next gym leader is going to be Norman. Norman's going to be the Norm-type gym leader of the game. And we're going to start the battle against him using our newly acquired Wobbuffet. We're going to counter down the Swellow, which will one-shot it. I wanted to Destiny Bomb, but obviously I don't have a Custap Berry. It's going to knock me out with close combat. I switched out to my Yanmega. Yanmega is going to take a Facade and then knock out the Tauros in one shot. It's going to flinch down the Exploud, which is amazing. As you can see, 2 flinches on the Exploud and another one to knock it out. The Slacking comes out next. I flinch it on the first one, so it's obviously going to get Shroon, and then it's over. That's it. 1 flinch on the Slacking does the trick. Linoon comes out next. I Air Slash it. It's going to Belly Drum and then outspeed me with Extreme Speed. My plan was to use Dustox at one point, set up with Protect against the Slacking, but wasn't needed because Dustox has Unaware and I'm able to Bug Buzz knock out the Linoon. Kangaskhan comes out next. I'm going to switch in between my Gyarados to get the Intimidate off against the Kangaskhan. I don't know if this is the best play, but I needed to do this to obviously lower its attack stat. Switch in between them and eventually end up on my Pelipper, which would do a bunch of damage. but not knock him out. Switch into my Gyarados with the rain up, and I get 1 Dragon Dance against him. I'm able to waterfall to knock out the Kangaskhan just barely, and we beat Norman with 2 HP. From there, we're gonna get the TM for Ice Beam. Obviously, we don't use it at all, I don't think, but we got the TM for Ice Beam at least. Since we get the HM for Serve, we do a little more exploring, and then from there, we're gonna go into against Shelly in the Weather Fortress. Nothing too special here. As we head into the next gym of the game, which is gonna be the Flying type gym. As you see, our Pokemon are bossing up. Just knock out the Noctowl. There we go. And then we're going to face off against Winona in her gym. She's going to be the double battle fight in here. She's going to start the battle using her Gyarados and Hawlucha. I want to start out using my Wobbuffet and my Chimecho. Chimecho is going to yawn down Gyarados, and then I'm going to counter whatever the Hawlucha wants to do. It wants to Brave Bird me. I'm going to counter it to knock him out. And then my Chimecho is still at pretty good HP. I can yawn down the Aerodactyl coming out, and obviously he's going to try to attack my Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet goes down, but I'm able to Side Shock down the Gyarados, and I'm able to Dragon Dance one in front of it. Get another Dragon Dance for free as I Side Shock down the Gyarados, and then Waterfall knock out the Aerodactyl as the Dragonite will knock out my Chimecho. Switch into my Weezing, which will Sludge Bomb down the Emolga to get a Poison and Ice Fang. I should have Ice Fanged the Emolga. I don't know what I was doing because it was an electric type. I should have thought that through, but I did not think that through. So I still went for the Ice Fang against the Dragonite for no reason. So that was stupid. They do a lot of damage against my Yanmega. Then she's going to switch out to Altaria. My last Pokemon is a Pelipper. Yanmega goes down from the Altaria, obviously. And then I'm able to Hurricane down, confuse it luckily. Emolga goes down to the Poison that we said earlier. It hits itself in confusion, and Hurricane knocks out the Altaria, and we luckily get away with a win. Whew. From there, we're going to go into Mount Pyre. Our team has changed drastically. We have an Amoonguss and a Mimikyu now, and this is the full final team. I like the layout. I think the layout really helps with viewer retention. I think people really like that. So I'm going to keep doing these layouts. But from there, we can go into the Magma Hideout. We're going to beat down Maxie, obviously, with our Gyarados. Gyarados now has the ability Moxie really broken. I will admit, it has a really broken ability. And also, we're going to go to the Team Aqua Hideout. We're going to beat down Matt. And then from there, we're going to head into Moss Deep City, where it's going to be the Psychic Gym, obviously. We're going to train up our Pokemon. Going to Moss Deep City's gym next. We're going to face off against Tate and Liza. We're going to start the battle using our Amoonguss and our Gyarados against him. We're going to Spore down the Clado so it doesn't set up Trick Room. And then we're going to Dragon Dance right in front of everyone. We get 2 Dragon Dances off against him. Then we're going to start Waterfalling down the Clado and Sludge Bombing it down to avoid any sorts of Trick Rooming up. We get it down to the low HP so my Amoonguss can knock him out. Waterfall almost knocks out the Slowbro. It can knock out the Clado though, and then it wakes up to Calm Mind. So luckily in the following turn, we're able to Waterfall and knock out the Slowbro. We're going to put the Solrock to sleep though. Survive a Rock Slide. I don't know why to use a Rock Slide, but we survived that. We're going to Sludge Bomb down the Solrock, and then we're going to Waterfall and knock out the Exeggutor. Reuniclus comes out next. It survives a Waterfall from my Gyarados as we knock out the Solrock, but it Calm Minds as well, so it's very useless. From there, we're going to Sludge Bomb the Lunatone and then Waterfall to knock out the Reuniclus, and the battle should be over as it's a 6v1 against the Lunatone. So our Amoonguss and Gyarados really clean up against Tate and Liza, and we get the 7th gym badge of the game. So next up, we're going to face off against Maxie and Tabitha in the space station with Steven Stone as our partner, and Gyarados really sweeps the floor with them. It's pretty simple out here. We get an easy dub, and we can move on. We're going to face off against Archie, which we haven't faced in a long time. We beat Archie. That's it. Yanmega actually pulls in work, and then we're going to spawn Rayquaza to stop Kyogre and Groudon from attacking each other, and then head into the next gym of the game. The last and final gym will be Sootopolis City's Water Gym against Juan. Juan's going to start the battle against us using a Politoed. We're going to start the battle using our Amoonguss against him. We're going to obviously Spore him and then get rid of the weather. We're then going to Giga Drain, activate his eject button, so he's going to obviously have weather coming back in. I can switch into my Wobbuffet to Miracle, knock out the Lapras at least. And then he's going to switch out to a Swampert. It's going to knock me out. I'm fine with that. I switch into my Gyarados. I get 2 Dragon Dances off against him actually. And then the Earthquake will knock out the Swampert. He's going to switch up to his Kabutops. I get a lucky flinch with a Waterfall, which I'm down with that. And then he's going to knock out the Kabutops. Earthquake will knock out the Politoed, which is amazing for us. And then the Kingdra will come out next. The Kingdra somehow outspeeds me and knock me out. So, okay. I switch into my Mimikyu. I avoid all the moves on it, apparently. And then play rough twice to knock him out. And then he's going to switch up to his Ludicolo. I do some chip damage against it. Switch out to my Pelipper to Hurricane and knock it out. So, we knock out all 8 gym badges of the game. And now we're going to head into Victory Road, where our Gyarados is going to smoke everything, get to level 95, which is incredible. Which, with the Lucky Egg, I don't even need to train it up, which is amazing. So I go into the Pokemon League to start off our Elite Four challenge against them. Our Elite Four challenge is going to start out with Sydney, the Dark type Elite Four member. We're going to start the battle against him using our Pelipper to negate his Sand. And then we're going to Hydro Pump twice. He misses a Stone Edge, which I'm grateful for. And we can knock out his Tyranitar. Then he's going to switch out to his Muck. It's obviously going to knock me out. We get some chip damage off using Hurricane. And I switched out into my Amoonguss. Put it to sleep. Ooh, Gunk Shot does a lot of damage. Ooh. Switch out to my Gyarados to hopefully get set up on it. Dragonite's up in front of it, but that's all I need as it almost knocks me out using Gunk Shot. Does not have Shadow Sneak, and we can Earthquake, knock out the Muck, get our attack boost, and then we can Waterfall, flinch down the Mana Bus. You see this? 2 flinches. And then we can knock out the Mana Bus. Ooh, I got close too. Ice Fang will knock out the Canter. Actually, it has a Focus Sash, but it would have knocked him out. Then I switched out to my Mimikyu. Shadow Sneak, knock out the Cacturne. Play Rough will almost knock out the Greninja into a Shadow Sneak. It will. And then the Absol will knock me out using a knockoff, which is unfortunate. Wobbuffet comes out, it's going to die to it. That did not work. Luckily, our Yanmega is able to survive a Play Rough, and we're able to Bug Buzz, knock out the Absol, and we defeat the first Elite Four member of the game. Next up, we're going to face up against Phoebe. Phoebe is going to be the Ghost type Elite Four member. We're going to start the battle against her using our Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet's going to Miracle, knock out the Miss Magius in one shot, which is nice. He's going to switch up to his Dusknoir. I was trying to go for Destiny Bond. Second thought it. And then I just went for it and it dies. I thought I could outspeed it. Did not outspeed it. I could Spore down the Dusknoir and then switch it into my Mimikyu. And then Home Claws 2-shot, knock out the Dusknoir without breaking my disguise. And then the Golurk will come out next. I can 2-shot it, break my disguise, and then Shadow Claw to knock him out. Here, I did not know Shadow Sneak was not affected against Banette. Was it Prankster? It doesn't allow a priority move to hit it. I think that's it. Anyways, I switch out to my Pelipper to Hydro Pump it and then die. Well, it could have gone better. I switch out to my Yanmega, take an attack, Air Slash will knock him out, and then he can switch out to Chandelier, which outspeeds me. Maybe because it has a Choice Scarf, I don't know, but it does outspeed me. Dragonite's running from the Aegislash as I switch into my Gyarados, and then I outplay it. As you can see, Dragonite's running from this King Shield, and then Earthquake, knock him out. Earthquake outspeed the Chandelier, and we're done with Phoebe. It's easy like that. Next up, we're going to face up against Glacier. Glacier is going to be the Ice type Elite Four member. We're going to knock out the Abomasnow using our Wobbuffet. Super simple. Glalie comes on next. Switch into my Pelipper to get rid of the Hail, obviously, and then die. And so, not the best move. I sent out my Grass type for some reason, so I could Spore it and then Giga Drain. I actually end up knocking it out, surprisingly. It's going to switch out to his Glaceon next. I'm like, Yanmega was not the smartest move, but it worked out because Blizzard missed. Air Slash almost knocks it out, but then his Life Orb will knock itself out, which is amazing. Next up, he's going to switch up to his Frostlass. I take a Shadow Ball easily. Miracle, reflected, Frostlass goes down. Mamoswine comes on next. It's going to knock me out as I switch into my Gyarados. Dragonite's run in front of it. Waterfall, knock out the Mamoswine. And then his final Pokemon will be a Walrein. This battle takes a little longer because Walrein decides to stall me as much as it can, but Amoonguss will knock out the Walrein. And we finished off the third Elite Four member. Now the fourth Elite Four member will be Drake, and somehow this was the easiest battle. I think they code Drake to be really easy to beat because I always beat him on my first try. As you can see, I started the battle against him using my Gyarados against his Dragolich. Switch out to my Pelipper to take the Draco, lowers attack stat. Switch out into my Amoonguss to Spore it. It switched into his Garchomp, so Garchomp is pretty much done. I Giga Drained it, and then it swapped into a Salamence for some reason. And then I'm like, oh, I need to poison this. Sludge Bomb does not poison. Sludge Bomb again. And then I survive an Earthquake. Sludge Bomb would knock out the Salamence. He just sacked his Salamence for no reason. And then my Amoonguss goes down, which is fine. I switch out into my Gyarados, which will Dragonance twice in front of his team. And then his Garchomp wakes up, survive an attack from it. And Earthquake will knock out the Garchomp, giving me a Moxie boost. And that is the end of the battle. Somehow, Ice Fang the combo to knock it out. Ice Fang, everything else. Ice Fang, the Naga Nadell, and the Superior, and we beat Drake. I don't know how that happened to me, but I'm lucky that happened to me. Finally, we're going to face off against the champion of the game. We're going to face off against Wallace, the Water-type champion. It would have been better if it's Steven. We started the battle using our Amoonguss against the Wailord, and we 1v1 it somehow. Knock it out easily. Switch out to his Vigavolt. I'm just going to stay in, sack it up to Hurricane. Then I'm going to switch out to my Mimikyu. I'm able to Shadow Claw twice, survive an attack, and then Shadow Sneak will knock him out. Oh, I mean, it would still go down. Double KO. It's a double KO. I switch out to my wall effect. Bad move. As the Wish Chest comes out next, it's going to Dragon Dance in front of me. So I switched out to my Pelipper to Ice Beam it. Luckily, it gets frozen. And then took the chance. Switch out to my Gyarados to Dragon Dance 3 times in front of it. And that should be game. Didn't break out the Ice Cube it's in. So I'm able to Waterfall, knock out the Wish Cache. Ice Fang, knock out the Latios. Ice Fang again to knock out the Ludicolo. And 2 Earthquakes from my Gyarados to knock out the Milotic. And we end up beating the champion. So, what a simple challenge. Gyarados really carried. I mean, if I didn't use Gyarados, obviously might have been a little more difficult. But, honestly, my team was pretty solid. Mimikyu, I wish I used a little more of it. But I didn't get the Swords Dance TM because I feel like I didn't need it. I didn't use Mimikyu at all. It's more of a backup Pokemon. But it's a pretty decent team. Jesse and James have a really, really good team. We even used one of their main Pokemon, which is a Wobbuffet. So I'm actually proud of myself for this challenge. Anyways, thank you so much. Anyways, that is the end of the challenge. We end up beating it. It's pretty nice. And I want to say thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. It means a lot to me you guys watch all the way to the end. This will be my last video of 2021. So obviously it's a special one. And a little fun one at the end too. So thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to leave a like. Comment down below some challenge ideas just like this one. And subscribe. It would really help my channel as we're hitting 30K very soon. I don't know if we're going to hit it, but it doesn't matter to me because we're going to hit it eventually. And I want you guys on board for that. So anyways, my name's been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day. I'm out. Peace.